Two Canadian nationals suspected of crossing our northern border with over 1,000 pounds of cocaine. That's valued at over $40 million. Incoming Border Czar Tom Homan joins me now. Tom, welcome back. It's always good to see you these days. Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he's promised to help on the border. More drones, more helicopters, more personnel. Is that the Trump effect?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Canada has the most lax immigration policies, I think, in the world. I mean, that's why so many special interest aliens cross the Canadian border. People from Pakistan, India, Turkey, they can afford to fly to Canada. It's much easier to cross the border. And upstate, like, for instance, I grew up in upstate New York. You know, alien smuggling, drug trafficking has always happened on a small scale, but it's increased significantly under the Biden administration. So I hope Justin Trudeau is a man of his word.
Mexico says 2 caravans which were headed to our southern border have been broken up and may have turned around. Again, is that the Trump effect?
Absolutely, but what I think you're going to see is that, look, these criminal cartels in Mexico, they're not going to stop easily. So they're going to break up these the larger caravans and break up the smaller pieces. They're going to try to cross in areas where they think Border Patrol has a little resources. So they're not going to stop until Trump actually gets in office and ends catch and release and puts the Remain in Mexico program back on. When we fire up these programs, you'll see a significant change. Until then, the cartel is just going to be a little more sneaky with smaller groups.
What do you expect to see at the southern border for the next 49 days before President Trump is inaugurated? What happens when these migrants hit the border in the next 49 days?
They'll be released, just like they've done the last 4 years. And again, I think the cartels will break them up to smaller groups. That way the president of Mexico can say, hey, I've stopped these large caravans. At the same time, working with the cartels to put them in smaller groups across the border. This is not going to stop. Look, last year alone, Mexico has taken in more than $60 billion, with a B, $60 billion remittance payments from illegal aliens in the United States, sending money back to Canada. They don't want the gravy train to end either. So they're going to play hide the mouse for a little bit. But when President Trump gets back in, we'll be looking at it real closely, and we will. Barney, we will secure the border.
Got it. Representative Ralph Norman says the sanctuary cities all over the country will be history under Trump. Is that correct?
I hope so, because sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I see these sanctuary mayors and governors saying they're going to try to prevent us from doing what we're doing. Look, any representative, any elected official, whether he's a mayor or governor, I mean, President Trump's been clear. I've been clear. Right out of the gate, we're going to focus on public safety threats. So why would you not want public safety threats taken out of your communities? I mean, that's your number one responsibility, is protect your community. So work with us. But sanctuary cities, I hope they do go away. They're sanctuaries for criminals, period. They don't protect migrant communities. Victims and witnesses of crime, they say they have sanctuary cities because they want victims and witnesses of crime to feel comfortable coming to the police. That's a bunch of hogwash. Victims and witnesses of crime don't want the bad guy released back into their neighborhood either. So work with ICE and let's make those communities safer.
Alex Padilla in California, he says California, that state, will not help Trump's deportation plans. Same story? You're going to take them on?
Then get the hell out of the way if we're going to do it. And look, if they don't want to work with us and let us in their jails, that just means I send twice as many resources to that city. They say they don't want ICE agents through their neighborhoods. Well, if you let me in the jail, there'd be less agents in your community. But when you release the bad guy to the street and not let us arrest him in the safety and security of a jail, now I got to put officers on the street and a whole team because of officer safety issues. That puts the immigrant community at greater risk of crime. It puts ICE officers at greater risk of harm. It puts an illegal alien at greater risk of harm. And I would dare him go to any immigrant community and ask one simple question. Would you rather have ICE operating in your community or the jail where the bad guys were locked up, where you already decided to lock a bad guy in a jail cell? That's who we want to talk to. Work with us, because they're pushing back on us is going to create exactly what they don't want: more agents in their neighborhood.
I just want to make sure I got this right. If in, say, California, a migrant, a criminal migrant, is in jail, and ICE refuses to, or refuse access for ICE to go get him, what will you do?
It depends what actions they take. They can simply not help us, but I've been clear in the last couple of weeks. There are a couple of statutes in federal law they need to look at and make sure you don't cross a line. One, if you knowingly harbor or conceal an illegal alien from ICE, that is a felony. Number two, if you impede a law enforcement officer in the performance of his duties, that is also a felony. So they cannot help, that's their choice. But don't cross that line, because there will be consequences.
The consequence will be to arrest him?
They'll be prosecute whoever's harboring, concealing that illegal alien, knowingly harboring, concealing that illegal alien. And we got a strong attorney general coming in power, and I think she'll agree with me on that.
Okay. Tom Homan, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for being with us the last 4 years. It's been great. We'll see you again real soon, I hope. Thank you, sir.